you have to intro it since it's.
Why do I have
your
to intro?
story.
I introed the last one.
But it's your story to start this one.
That's not fair.
Why?
I don't want an intro.
Why not?
Because this is pop culture unboxing, and we care about you, Ryan.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
No, what you gotta say it.
No,
you gotta say it.
He said it already.
You gotta say it.
He said it already.
You gotta say pop culture unboxing.
Why do I have to say pop culture unboxing?
There we go.
Why do I have to say it?
You have
He
to
said
say it,
already.
Mr. What's his name?
I'm Ryan.
Do you remember? That's it. Yeah.
I'm Ryan.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's my name.
Yeah. Do you remember my name, Zach?
You're Zach. The guy across from me, Zach.
That's yeah. Did you know that? Did you know
no,
that?
apparently I forgot because
Oh, okay.
you started
But-
saying Zach. I was like, wait, who's Zach?
But does Zach remember my name?
I was trying to think of any funny name I could come up with, and the only thing I could come up
My name's
with
funny.
Sure.
Is
was
that it?
Hans Gruber.
What am I?
Sure,
Some sort of
why not?
clown?
I'm Hans Gruber.
What am I? Some sort of clown to you? Am I funny how? Funny like clown?
Funny like or funny like I pity that guy.
I don't know. Have you gone back and listened to our old episodes? Do you know how often we do that joke? What's my name again? What's your name?
We do it a lot.
We hold dear and true to that joke.
I mean, it's a good joke. It's a good fallback for us.
Right.
We're
right.
good at it. We know our strengths.
Is it a joke if you legitimately forget your names as soon as the podcast starts?
You know,
mean, intentionally?
he just broke both of us. I just looked at. Did you see that? I just looked right at Ryan to try to find the answer.
Like-
I didn't know it.
Because I was going to say, I don't know if you guys do this, but it's like when somebody asks you a question and you know the answer, but as soon as they ask you, it's like, no, you don't.
Oh, it's like my. It happens to me with my phone number and my social security number.
Yeah.
It's like at any point I could rattle them off, but as soon as someone asks for them,
Can you rattle them off
Go
for
on.
me real quick?
yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Is that the phone number?
9.
Is that the phone number?
No, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
90. Oh, okay. So 90.
Wait,
So it's a 0 at the
3,
end?
2.
Because that
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause there's
sound right.
10 in a phone number and 9 in a social security number.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to remember because
Right.
if I remember my phone number, I know my social security
You know,
number is
it's-
just the same
it's-
one without the 0.
It's good that you can still tell you're in the
Do you know
United-
that's not?
It's good
No
that-
one has that social security number.
Yeah, I believe that. It's good to know that you also still live in the United States because you had to put the 1 in front of your number because your actual phone number is 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. I think is what you said. I think, but
No.
yeah, like you know,
If it would be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
well,
8,
you
9,
didn't
0.
say that.
Yeah, because no one says the 1 at the beginning.
We do now.
Okay,
You
understandable.
monster.
Well, I
What's
mean,
your
it's the
phone
same
number
thing
starting
where
with
it
1?
was-
With the so +1 and then my phone number. So
Yeah.
you want me to say the +1?
Plus 1,
All
and
right.
then what?
+1, 623
Okay.
84
Yeah.
9 5823. I can't wait for someone to call that number.
What is that number?
I don't know.
Are you serious? Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
That's so great.
I'm sorry. I mean, you just rattled off your own phone number. Obviously.
Right. So go ahead and call that phone number. Do you remember what I said?
That's right. I've been having this lady call me asking me about my cosigner on a loan.
You didn't make that up.
I did. I did.
You said 639, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in Saskatchewan, apparently. So your area code wouldn't be +1.
No. I don't know what it is in Saskatchewan.
Now we're going to find out.
It would be plus. Oh, it is
It is
+1.
+1.
Listen.
So call that number, and you get to talk to me.
Okay. There will be a message
And
waiting.
if I seem very confused,
Zach, do you want to give your phone number while we're all doing this?
Oh, yeah. It's +1 098
Okay.
76 5 43 27.
okay.
I thought you were going to say 765-309.
I could have.
5,
8,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8, 6,
5,
7,
3,
5,
0.
309.
No one here watches the IT crowd, right?
No.
Oh.
Can you remember the phone number from the IT crowd to
with
call?
this real nice jingle?
Yeah.
I'm going to look up the number, but I remember that if I see the number, I'll know the tune.
Yeah.
One of the first ones is the emergency number. It's 0118 999 881-999-119 725
3. IT
I
crowd.
think that's the yeah. So if you fall and break your hip in the UK, you just dial that simple number 011-8999-881-999-119-725-3.
To make sure you get the 3 at the end. If you
Yeah.
go 4, you call the wrong number.
Yep, that's actually 411, and they'll ask if you need to know where the utility lines are on your property.
Yeah.
I think that's 811 actually.
Guys, want to hear?
Ryan.
Want to hear about a dream I had?
I do. I had a dream that you had a dream.
What was your dream?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Do you want me to talk about mine?
I do.
So I had a wicked dream last night.
Yeah?
And
You had a wicked dream.
I wasn't.
Wicked.
I was gonna just let it like fade from my memory.
Okay.
But then I made a Twitter post saying like,
I saw it.
Don't want me to talk about it. Well, too bad. So I'm gonna talk about this dream. So here's what I could tell, because like this, how it starts is really fuzzy. Like I don't know when I noticed it, but I remember I'm like laying in bed, and I like looked down, and from, I'll try to like explain it on the podcast, but I'll show you guys like a visual aid. So like right here above like where my knee is.
Right on your top of your kneecap, basically.
Well, yeah, like a little bit above it, so it still had the.
So
bend.
your lower thigh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah. So in the lower thigh area, and it was on both legs.
I'm Zach. What's funny, Zach? I'm being technical.
I'm just enjoying this.
He's just being a
description.
doctor, okay?
Ryan, it's okay. Don't let him insult you. Keep going.
I want to jump over this table.
Ryan, it's okay. It's
I have
okay.
that-
He's not
I-
Ryan. He's not worth it.
I have that effect on people.
Anyway,
You do have an effect on people.
I do.
the bottom of my
I actually have a funny story about that.
I love you
After
from the bottom
Ryan.
of my thigh.
the bottom
Okay.
of my thigh.
Zach has a story. We got to put a pin in
Oh,
that.
we gotta tell that story
Yep.
first.
Hit
No.
Oh, we're gonna tell my story.
We're not
again,
sidebarring
see,
today.
the pin's
We're
funny.
pinning
'cause
it.
That has something to do with my story.
Yeah.
So let me tell you. So from like the bottom, from like the bottom of my thigh to like where my knee starts to become my kneecap down into the bottom of my
Okay.
legs, was kind of like a different color. It was like a tanner shade. So it kind of looked like a farmer's tan. But the only problem was there was a clear like gap, like clear like where they don't connect, and all in a complete circle were safety pins holding my leg on.
Okay.
And it was both of my legs. And I don't know why I did it, but for some reason in the dream I was just like, let's just pull these. So I would as a kid. Now this tells you a lot about yourself. If in high school you used to take safety pins and put it under your skin, did you guys do that?
No.
Okay, well then
What is wrong with you?
so this doesn't apply. Anyway, the safety pins.
I have a
So
better question. What isn't wrong with you?
so
It's probably gonna be a shorter list.
so I pushed like the safety pins. You know how you do? You push them
Yeah.
and then you pull them out. So I pulled the first one. Nothing happens. Pull the second one, and I guess it was a little like the point was a little bent because it caught and it started to rip like the skin over like open. But the problem is there's no like blood or anything. It was just like silicone. Like that look.
Okay.
You know, like if you rip silicone, it like
Did you get
Yeah.
an implant?
so just hang on to that thought. so I just after that happens, I like look and I like open it to just be like open like one of the holes that was made to look.
God damn it, Ryan.
No.
I
anyway,
just noticed it.
anyway, I opened. Anyway, I opened.
Do you want to tell the people
Can
what I
we
just
put
noticed?
a pin in that one?
Okay, sure.
So we'll tell his story and then yours, or will your thing be shorter?
I think it'll be a lot shorter.
Okay, well then we'll go with you next, then we'll go with Zach.
Okay.
But first, so like, and I notice in the hole in my like, and it's literally like right above, like right in here where that incision is, where I ripped the hole.
Yeah, the one in your lower thigh.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like looking into it, and I realize like it looks pretty hollow in there. Like I can see it's just dark. It looks like a dark cave in there, but it's just a dark cave of silicone. But there's like where the bone would be. The bone is there, but it looks a little different. So I'm like, that's strange. So I just kept taking like these safety pins out until I took the whole ring of safety pins, and then basically like the opposite of when like you lift your pant leg up to like show your like in the old timey movies you like to show your ankles. I did that, but I like rolled my socks down, which was in my leg, my silicone
okay.
legs.
I was about to ask, where did the socks come
No.
from?
So I like rolled them down like they were like tube socks, And what's there is just a metal skeleton. So, like, the bones are there, but it's a metal. They're metal. They're just a metal skeleton.
When was the last time you watched Terminator 2?
A very long time. I've never watched Terminator 2, so. I mean,
You're almost perfectly describing the
I've
part where
never
he takes
seen Terminator, but I've definitely seen like the.
You've seen the part where he pulls his arm off to show that he's a robot, right?
No.
He cuts the
seen
front half of his forearm off and rips off the silicone on his forearm to show that he's a robot.
Maybe I saw it like in a YouTube scene. I just don't remember it. But like I've never seen the film. Anyway,
Okay.
but I like, and it's
Great film, by the way.
cool. Well, it's a skeleton, so it's and I'm like, that's very weird. And I realized that the other leg has that. So I go through the process of pulling those in. I'm like, and the only thought I have in my head is like, why did I only attach them with safety pins? Out of all the things I could have done, why safety pins?
I like the assumption also that you're the one that did that to you, but you immediately assumed that it was you that did.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the safety pins thing, I was only thinking, I was just like, this seems like this is not a very well professional done job, whatever happened. So I must have done it myself. So it was the same thing, metal skeleton on my knees. And I thought, how much of me is metal? So I tried to cut into other parts of me to see what was metal. Turns out everything was almost metal.
Everything was almost metal.
Yeah. So like there was at one point, like up here in my, yeah, go ahead. What's this part of the arm? What's this
Bicep.
Is this whole thing called a bicep?
The top. If you hold your arm out with your fist upward.
What is the bone that connects from your
bone?
shoulder down
I have
to
no
your
idea.
well, whatever that bone
The
is.
upper arm bone.
There was it was metal, and then there was a part of it that was still the bone. Like they just screwed the part of the bone into the metal, which doesn't make sense to
Okay.
me, but they did it anyway. Someone did it. I don't know. Apparently, maybe I did it because I say so. I had I went to the mirror and then I woke up. So I don't know, but basically what happened was I guess I must have been in a terrible accident, and
Like RoboCop.
right, and like my whole skeleton was turned into like a robot skeleton. So the only thing I could think of was like I must have been thinking about Wolverine or something when I went to bed because he has the adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, but he's also made of silicon.
Yeah. So that must have been what
Now,
happened.
is
But
there
like,
any relevance to the fact that last week and this was off the show, we discussed amputees and how if you lost any part of your body, you would want to die,
it may be. I mean, that's possible.
which I still don't understand.
But
by the
a
way.
week later, because I don't want to live that way.
But
Listen,
if it's like your pinky toe,
well, then I'm a mutant. I'm a freak, but I can maybe get behind that.
that's not
I
how
guess.
mutants work. Okay,
What?
pinky. Where's the line? Pinky finger.
Okay.
If you lose a pinky,
I think I can live.
both pinkies.
If I lose both pinkies at once,
Yeah.
I could probably live with that.
Okay, middle
I mean,
fingers.
it's gonna be hard to do this.
Well, yeah, both
so
middle
just
fingers.
the middle fingers? Is
Yeah.
what you're saying? I could probably live with that.
Okay, thumbs.
No, because I need them to pick
One
things up.
thumb.
No. Well, it depends. What arm?
Your choice.
If I lose my right thumb, I don't think I would need my right thumb. But
Okay.
my left thumb, because I write and stuff. So,
All right.
Because here's the problem: if I was to lose like my left,
Which
thumb,
are you left-handed?
Mhm.
Okay, right arm.
If I lose my right arm,
Yes.
done.
You're just done.
And-
Not the
cut my head off. Shoot me. I don't care. End my life.
why.
Because then I have to learn how to do certain things. For example, can't play video games the same way as I could.
I have a couple people on YouTube I'd like to show you then.
Okay, well, I couldn't do it. I could do it because what requires me to do is basically learn. It's kind of like the thing is like, okay, if I like bruise my spine, right? They say like sometimes you can't walk and then eventually you have to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
Kill me. Too much work. Don't want to do that.
I mean, there is the option of just not bothering to learn to walk and just sitting in a wheelchair.
Nope, kill me. I don't want to live in a world where I can't walk. Listen,
But
and
you could
this is
learn to
not-
walk.
This is not saying anything about people that can't. Like, if that's I understand. I'm saying what I personally would want. Call me weak, whatever you want. That's fine. I agree. But if
Okay.
I can't walk, I don't want to live in a world where someone has to take care
Okay,
of me.
but what
like
about
that.
one leg?
It's hard because
Okay,
then
wait,
I'm a
let's
weeble
start
wobble
below the knee.
below the knees. No,
Why?
because I'm a weeble wobble. It's easy to push me over.
But it won't be forever.
It will be.
No, it won't. You'll get one of those fancy metal legs.
No, but
Like in your dream.
they're too expensive.
Insurance will cover it. You're employed.
Oh yeah, no, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
I don't believe it, but
They might. But you'll die before you'll find out.
Yeah, because I will ask someone to kill me. Someone will kill me.
I don't think anyone will.
I will make sure it happens. I will dive out of my hospital window when I wake up. They're like, "Sorry, sir."
Hospital windows don't open.
What?
Hospital windows don't open.
Oh, they will for me.
At least not above the first story.
They will for me.
I mean, good luck with that, man.
I'm just saying. Look, again,
So-
if you can live that way and you're stronger than me, agreed. That's what it is. I know where
Honestly,
I am. When you tell me I have to first of all, if I lose my right hand, I can't paint miniatures anymore because I don't have the other hand to hold on to them when I paint.
but you just use those little claw things to hold them in a spot.
No, I have to learn a new
Okay.
way. I don't want to do the learning.
But you
part.
had to learn to paint minis in the first place.
Right. I don't want to do it again. I've learned to make the level I am. I don't want to.
But imagine how many likes you'll get for how inspirational it'll be.
First of all, nobody cares that I'm even alive now. So like, no one's going to worry about it. Also, that's kind of crappy if I use my disability to make myself famous and inspirational.
You would do it. If you hadn't died by that point.
Now you're making me sound like I'm not as good of a person that I am.
I'm about to make myself sound like a bad person. It makes me genuinely want to start just bit by bit amputating things off of you and seeing if you actually follow through with that. If you how far up the leg do you have to get before you won't get out of your own bed? And every human being you see, you demand they kill you.
I'm gonna hold my leg out.
Okay.
And then I want you to point, starting with the toes.
Okay.
And keep going up till I say kill me. Okay.
Okay.
So
Well,
here's
I'm
my
starting at the top of the toes.
Yep. So right there, nothing's cut off.
Maybe the tip of your toenail.
Okay. Whatever. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay.
That's
keep
all
going.
the toes.
Okay. Kill me. Kill me there.
I'm an inch behind where his toes meet his foot. He's done.
Kill me there. End my life right there. That's where I want to die.
An inch past your toes.
Yes, because then I won't be able to walk normal, and then people will stare at me. No, I'm done. I have to learn how to walk that way. I don't want to do that.
I think this really. I'm not qualified to make claims about what this says about you as a person, but I really feel like it says something about you as a person.
It says a lot, as in I'm a weak.
You know what else says a lot about you as a person?
Well, I feel like I don't.
And I noticed the
Zach?
second. I noticed the second one
Zach?
when I looked over again.
What second one?
Finn and Ray. Those are both new, aren't they?
They may.
I think everything else looks like it's on the up and up. There's 2 new Hot Toys behind me here.
Oh boy!
And then when I turned around and swore at Ryan, it's because I noticed standing next to Jyn Erso over here, we have Finn holding a lightsaber, and down there, Kylo, we've got Ray holding another lightsaber.
You know what the sad thing is? I finally hit the point where I cannot just I had my money saved up just for Hot Toys. I finally depleted that.
Yeah?
I sold Batman recently to
Okay.
refill the stock. So now I have enough from that one to buy one more, and then
Okay.
that's it.
For that week, right?
No, until I can save up more money
Right,
towards
okay.
it. But the problem is we're going on a trip, so
Yeah.
I'm also saving up some of that Hot Toys
Well, I
spending.
appreciate that.
Is starting to get weaker because I have to put more money towards the trip because we're leaving.
I'm curious when I'll stop looking over here and seeing a brand new toy. Also, that Yondu, no, that was there last week.
That was there. That's all.
Okay.
I've had that since before we were friends.
Your anime GF is falling over.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
No, I expected you to defend the Hot Toy thing more. I'll be honest.
I mean, at this point, it's become indefensible.
At least you admit it.
It's become a problem. It's become a
Zach's
point.
not back yet, so we can discuss this.
It's the point where I can't. I myself
Yeah,
cannot defend myself.
I mean that's fair.
It's
And
kind
just
of
keep
the-
in mind because I wanted to is a valid defense.
Nah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it is. To me, it is.
Okay.
But a lot of people, it's probably not.
Maybe not.
But okay, I can defend myself about one of those.
Okay, go on.
So, I mean, I guess I technically could defend myself, but I'm not going to count this as a way to defend myself. With
Okay.
Ray was already kind of paid for. I had one more payment plan left because I do them in payment plans.
Okay.
But Finn was on eBay on an auction, and he had major box damage.
Okay.
So instead of getting him for because that's a sold out version. That's from Force Awakens, as you can tell.
Yeah.
That normally goes for still $250, $300 or something like that. I got him for $130,
Okay.
because of the box damage.
So it's an investment.
Right. So the figure still is fine. It's just the box.
Gotcha.
The box just has a lot more dents and stuff in it.
Gotcha. I see the Bad Batch shuttle up there.
Yep.
Good choice.
I put him up there.
But Ryan,
Yes.
what if?
I didn't collect Hot Toys.
That'd be an interesting what if. What was your first hot toy?
Ryan's super rich. What was my?
What was the moment where you looked at one and said, "I'm going to buy this"? And what was going on in your life at that point?
What was the first? Okay, so the first Hot Toy was Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan.
This one?
That was the first one.
Okay.
Where I was at the point was I was
Were
working.
we already friends?
I want to say yes because
Okay.
I think this was towards the end. Yeah, because I think Drew had moved out, so we would have been friends. Yeah, because we've
Okay.
been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
I was like starting track control when I first.
It was, I think, the end of 2017.
So
maybe
I,
early
I
2018.
was starting track control when I first got my first Hot Toy, and what it was.
Oh yeah, we'd been friends for a while.
I
at that
was in
point.
a good place.
Okay.
I was in like a really good place financially, and as being a toy collector, every toy collector wants at least one of these.
Okay.
Like these are your like real big grails. So what I did, I had enough saved up with my tax returns. Is I bought him.
Now, does every collector want 28 of them?
Is there actually 28?
There's
in there?
28 in there.
Did you count the ones behind you?
29, 30, 32, 33, 34. 34.
What about that one box?
35.
35.
35.
Okay, so 35. Anyway,
And more downstairs, I'm sure.
no,
Oh.
no, all of them are up here.
Okay. 35.
No, one of those is getting sold. Two
Okay.
of them are getting sold because
Anyway.
I don't like them. Anyway, but I bought that and the Hot Toys exclusive Toy Fair exclusive Dark Side Anakin, which is the one thing I sold that figure because I bought it at Sideshow for I think it was like $270 is what it was, but it sold out and it was like a very highly requested figure. Everyone loved it, so I sold that figure for like $900.
Jeez.
So yeah, I put it on eBay as an auction. $900, like a little over that plus whatever the shipping was and stuff. At that point, that was when I was like, wow, these things can be an investment if I really want, if I want them to.
Yeah.
So that's when it started as like, I fell in love with these. I took a break because I was like, they're expensive and I don't think I want to go heavy into this.
Yeah.
Clearly that didn't stick.
No, of course not.
But I love every single one of them. Like I love them a lot.
Yeah.
I wish.
So do you think if you hadn't bought Hot Toys, do you think it'd be Legos all in that container?
No.
What would it be?
Gundam models.
Of course.
Because that's what was in them. So like I got rid of all my Gundam models for Hot Toys. Like
You washed away the weeb. I'm so proud of you.
I washed it all away.
That makes the Hot Toys more stomachable for me.
I had one. I still have one Gundam left, but that was because that was a gift. So I know
Acceptable.
it may be surprising, but a lot of the stuff that I don't sell, that like remember how I sold some of my 6-inch figures? I still have more to sell, but if you look around the room, most of the stuff that I have kept that I was like thinking about selling was all given to me by somebody. The one Hot Toy, there's two Hot.
So what I'm finding out is that if I ever want to straddle you or like force you to hold on to something that you don't want to hold on to, I just have to gift it to you.
Yep.
And you'll never get rid of it.
No matter what. That's my like.
Honestly, I know the feeling. I
Well-
recently went through and cleared out my filing cabinet of like just different files and stuff I had. I had birthday cards from when I was 9.
Oh wow!
I had saved every birthday card from like when I was a young child.
Wow, that's.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Wow. What made me decide, what really pushed it, because there's never been anything anyone's given me I've sold. But that Jyn Erso over there,
Yeah.
I guess this isn't too much. I can tell this story. It's not that big of a deal now, really.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. But Jyn, that was the I knew I could never sell that because 2 of those toys in there, Robin bought me that Luke Skywalker down there from Crate. And that was just mailed to me one day, Jyn Erso,
Yeah.
from my buddy Pat in San Francisco.
Okay.
He he passed away.
Oh,
COVID took him.
yikes!
Like, well, that's what they called it, a COVID death. And at that moment, I realized, like, no matter what, I could never sell these. Even though gin is worth a lot of money, I can't. Like, and that was the point. I was like, I'm never going to get rid of trinkets that someone gave me because they mean more to me now.
Yeah.
Even if I don't think about them every day. Like, I walk by this stuff, and it's not like I think about who got them for me. But every time.
That's what you need to put in there. You need to get the Jyn Erso minifigure I sold you and put it in there.
Oh yeah, she's down in the storage unit.
Yeah, I noticed the U-wing isn't around here anywhere. What if?
What if? Sorry.
We're going to run through this because we're already about a half hour in. So we'll run through this.
Right. If you're wondering why Zach isn't speaking, is he had to walk away for a second.
Yeah. And if he's not back by the time we're done with What If, we'll take a break and start back up whenever he gets back.
Okay. That sounds good.
What did you think? First episode of What If, Marvel's What If released last night. So when you're listening to this yesterday, it released yesterday. And it's about... The title is What If Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum or something like that?
So the difference was actually they acknowledge what the real difference is what if she stayed in the room instead of leave, like when she was originally told to leave.
Yeah.
That's what they say, but also the same thing could have still it's really what happens if she got the serum. So I've had a lot of time. I've thought about this a lot because I really wanted to get this thought right.
And from what me and Ryan have said, you can basically just, if you want to know my thoughts on it, just listen to his and then just add ditto to it because I think he and I have a lot of the same thoughts.
So here, let me tell you what I did like.
Okay.
I like the Hydra Stomper and I like Captain Carter. Cool. I do like that.
Yeah.
And I do like the dynamic between her and the other characters. I'm sort of iffy on like how I feel about how it ends with Captain Carter, how it ends.
Yeah,
it's too early. I'm not going to say how it ends, but I liked some of the some of the same missions were in Captain America: First Avenger, but how they changed was different. Like who was affected by them change.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is some of the voice acting was not very good.
Yeah.
Some of them were good. Like Peggy Carter's voice actress, it was the actual woman that played Peggy Carter and was pretty good.
Howard Stark phoned it in.
Yeah.
Even Steve.
Yeah.
I was not wild about his voice acting.
So that and the other problem is probably what was the moment when the show ended. I thought this either needed to be one of those times when it released more than one episode, or they might have that. Like, I'm worried about how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So, as you said to me, you agreed with me on this. It basically took Captain America: The First Avenger and put every plot point from that movie in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And everything goes quick. By the time Carter gets the serum, and she's instantly already starting to fight. I did like the realism with the like them being like, "No, we don't want you in the war. Women don't fight in the war." That was kind of.
It was a little on the nose.
It was on the nose, but
here's the issue.
Sort of
I have.
Realistic.
Like I get like she's getting in there and she's fighting instantly. Sure, Steve had no military training. She does. However, nothing trains you to throw a shield. Like from the top of a building down to a moving vehicle and then catch it again.
That was the thing, is like they show her training and she's throwing weights across the room. And that was like to symbolize the training of the shield. But even then, see, and that's the thing is like, what I didn't like is what I think could be potentially the downfall this show starts. And if all of these episodes are not connected in some sort of way, like now we know where Carter ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the original Cap did, but how is the next one's gonna cut? Because if these are each episode is an individual story based on like what if this happened and then it just stops, then we're gonna have a problem. Because you're not you're clearly speeding through these stories. You're not putting effort into them. And that's the thing, is like Captain Carter's story makes sense if it's a full series Like, what's the one we were talking about with Killmonger and Tony? That didn't release yet, but we saw from the trailer that that's a what if. If Killmonger saved Tony? Well, first there's a problem. There's an age problem there.
Yeah.
But it's a what if. So let's just say, what if he was old enough to do that?
At best, he'd be late teens.
Right. So because
he was 11 or 12 in the late 90s in Black Panther, right?
Right.
And then he was late 20s in Black Panther.
Yeah.
But Iron Man took place 10 years before that.
That's what I mean. So if these are not connected and these are just one-off stories, the stories kind of suck because I can understand. Like, if you tell me like Peggy gets the super soldier serum and does everything that happens in Captain America, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I know what. Now I know. I don't know the struggle she's going through because you skip over that to just. And that's like, I'm hoping these are all connected, and they kind of hint that they are with a lot of like trailers and stuff. Because in the trailers we show Gamora as Thanos, like what would happen if she killed Thanos and took over for him, and like we see her fighting against T'Challa Star-Lord, so like or fighting with him. So like there's a chance that they're all going to be connected, and that's fine. That's great.
Maybe
it's too early to tell, in my opinion. It's too early to tell where this is going to go, and it's too early to tell.
So
I
just looked this up. Michael B. Jordan's 34 right now. If Killmonger's the same age as he is, that would have meant he would have been 21 at the time of during the events of Iron Man.
Right.
So, I mean, it's understandable you could be out and about as an adult, but not as well trained as he was. You're not 21. You're not going to have the military experience that he did that made him such an effective warrior.
And here's why I think that here's where this is evidence that they have to be connected is because T'Challa is no longer there. He gets kidnapped. His father would call the next heir to be king. So he would end up bringing Michael.
No, I don't think he didn't know about Killmonger.
Oh,
it's implied that he didn't.
Well, Well, then I don't know.
I think,
but I'm saying if that's not the case, and he actually did know about him, he brings him back.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Yeah,
but that's the thing is like, how are these all? If these are all connected, this could be a good story. If they're not, and it's all just parallel branches, then we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Yeah.
And I think that would be the smarter move is each season you do this is just another branch of the timeline. Not all of the episodes being in, but we don't know yet because some people got to see 3 of them and we only got to see 1.
Like, are they going to try to justify that one decision Peggy made radiated out and caused all these things? Or are they going to say that someone made a different decision each episode or something?
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the
gonna
thing.
Be the other thing.
So that's the thing is like, so this all happened because Peggy changed. I was like, well, okay, well, how does that affect like T'Challa and stuff?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
like that half a world away, hidden away,
time zones, like time periods away. Like that's what I mean. It's. I think
I did like the gag. I'll give it the one thing. I did like the gag where Steve makes a comment about being a USO cheerleader, and then when Howard gives her the costume, he says, "This is your Go Sell War Bonds USO costume."
Right.
That was funny to me.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, honestly, it's not a bad show.
No.
But you have to.
And the animations. The fight scenes are cool, but like close-ups on the people are kind of rough.
That's what like
the mouths don't look right.
They announced, so I know we were talking about Hot Toys, not to bring it back to that. So they announced like that they were going to do what if versions of the characters on Hot Toys. But if you ever notice, like they're doing Bad Batch of the Hot Toys, and that's an animated series.
Yeah.
They're doing them with realistic print. So like it's Timon Morrison's face, but as Hunter, and it looks strange. I'll show you what it looks like. And it looks strange, but it's like okay. But for this what if Hot Toys, they're doing them in animated form, which is strange to do because you're like, okay, well, why don't you just use the Peggy? Like, it's strange what they're doing if these are connected to the MCU, which they are now. We know that is confirmed
but it's
that
part
they
of the
are.
multiverse. So.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
but that's the thing is like if they do another multiverse thing, like if they want another Endgame, this is all going to have to come over into
Yeah.
So like, are we gonna have animated looking characters with real people? Is it gonna be a
That'd be
Roger Rabbit
weird.
situation? You know
I
what
don't.
mean?
I don't like this path we're going down.
This is the worst case scenario. This is
Yeah.
probably not what's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's very, because, and this is the problem when you have the multiverse stuff as some animes here, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Well, that's now part of the MCU. But then you've got Venom and Venom 2 and Morbius, who people keep forgetting that movie's coming out. Even I do. Like,
yeah.
again, I'm this. What we just watched recently, the Suicide Squad. Like,
Oh, I didn't realize we were just going to name drop it like that.
Yeah.
I was going to do something like, but
okay.
that's enough of movies that are MCU. How about?
Well, we're not going to talk about it yet, but
yeah.
the movie that,
But soon.
but the movie we watched is kind of it's making me feel like we may be about to see a swap.
Yeah.
So like Marvel stuff is going to go and DC is going to go up.
It's a hot take.
I mean, again, it wouldn't shock me because DC has a huge monopoly in the animation department when it comes to their superheroes. Like, their animation films are fantastic. Marvel's are not. Well, if that switches and this becomes popular, and Marvel has an amazing animated department, but their movies start to go bad because, to be honest with you, now they're in with characters that, again, I don't even know about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie and pretend that I know anything really about Shang-Chi. I don't know anything about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, me either. I don't know what I'm.
The rest of the Guardian stuff, I don't know about Adam Warlock. Like, I don't know about Captain.
Yeah.
I don't know about Captain Marvel. That's the thing, is now I'm in a part where I'm like, I don't know any of these stuff. So like, I'm going into these blind and learning as I watch videos.
There's a lot of them where I'm going to wait for reviews. Like, obviously Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, but like
Batman and Superman and stuff like that. Like, and here's my big worry is I worry that Marvel is not going to make those characters that I don't know about as interesting to me, because they're just going to be like, they have the formula that they know works, so they just keep it. Well, eventually that formula is going to get old.
Yeah.
But as we saw another film, DC's deciding to make characters that nobody would know or think to even put in a movie.
Yeah.
And make them interesting and actually characters you care about. So like, I don't know, man. Well, I mean, we're gonna talk. We're gonna
talk about the. Oh.
Go ahead. You seem to have a plan.
I don't really. Well, we're here. And now it's time to talk about the self-harm team.
The self-harm team.
The self-harm team.
Yeah, I'm a part of that team.
The
End Your Life Club.
Yeah, the End Your Life Club.
The Doki Doki Literature Club.
Stop. Enough of that. What did we watch, Zach?
Doki Doki Literature.
I don't know, but it makes you want to do a Suicide Squad.
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Oh, they said it. Roll credits. What did you guys think of the movie The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, featuring everyone?
It really did have everyone in it. It had everyone.
Sean Gunn twice.
Yeah. Technically 3 times. Movie's been out long enough. We can spoil.
Yeah.
He died. Weasel, we thought, died. Everyone dies.
A
Many
lot
people
of
that
people
die
die.
in this
Yeah,
film.
pretty much.
If you haven't watched the film, I'm sorry, but it's
You know
been
who
out
survived?
long enough.
Batman.
He did.
Not confirmed.
No, true.
It may have been an off-screen death.
What were thoughts? Who? Show of hands. Who like? Zach, you better put that hand up.
Just threatened him to
For our audio listeners, all 3 of us put our hands up. Zach was
This
somewhat
film
reluctant.
is amazingly good.
Yeah?
It's so good.
I agree. It
Of
was really
course.
fun.
But here's the thing, though. Of course James Gunn could do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, the moment you see the hero list, you got Polka Dot Man, you got King Shark, who is not normal King Shark. This is just Sylvester Stallone, who was paid to just show up and say random words, and they wrote the script around it.
Hey, can you do your best Vin Diesel impression?
That's what he did.
Yeah.
You had Arms Fall Off Boy, which is now the detachable kid.
TDK.
TDK.
It's my name.
Just slaps
Your
people.
name's just letters? All names are letters.
We had Weasel. We had Bloodsport.
You mean the werewolf?
Yeah, the werewolf.
Yeah.
There are so many. Oh my god! And how
crowded.
this film starts out, like it was so good. This film is so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm
They
happy
lived
that
up
I
to their
watched
name
it.
within the first 5 minutes. Right?
Can I?
Yeah.
I want to say though, I had to work really hard not to see spoilers for this.
Yeah.
Like
I did.
YouTube was all over like kill count. Oh, why did this person die? Explaining this person's
Oh,
death.
God.
Explaining like a person's
yeah.
death. Like it's so bad. I was like, I can't look at YouTube anymore. Like it.
Hashtag no spoiled gang.
Heyo.
Hey,
I do this by
you
fixing
not get
my
spoiled?
algorithm.
No, I didn't get spoiled.
Nice.
That's why I said I had to work really hard not
High
to
five
be
each other
spoiled.
right now. Good enough.
It's because we didn't look at the elbows.
Waller's not very nice.
No, but that's Amanda Waller. That
Yeah,
was
true. She's
Yeah.
what did I say? The real villains were the wardens we met along the way.
yes.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with Amanda Waller is she, after what happens to her and like getting her head smashed in, not like she didn't
Yeah.
die, but she got hit with a
She got
golf club.
bonked.
Yeah, she got bonked and sent to horny jail.
Yeah.
Normal Amanda.
You should have seen it come. I don't know how you didn't see it coming.
The thing is, I just know the meme, and like, it's one of those things where I usually bring you guys memes. So like, when one of you brings it up without me showing you one of those memes,
You
I'm
don't
just
think-
like, you know the joke.
You don't think we knew Bonk go
You
to
don't,
horny jail?
you don't think
No.
the only weeb in the group knew Bonk go to horny jail? It's ridiculous.
Well, let's put it this way: years ago, when we used to work together, I used to bring Ryan memes, and like, I'd show him memes. He'd be like, "These are great. Where do you get these?" And I was like, he must not know where I get
Oh.
memes.
When you told me though, I immediately looked less of you as a person.
Is it iFunny?
Yes, he gets his memes from
It's the
iFunny.
best. It's the best place to get memes.
It's a weird way to say Reddit
Yeah.
or 4chan.
Well, I mean, obviously they compile them.
If you
but
want them
that's
fresh off
why
the
it's
press,
the best place to get
It
it.
used to be 4chan, but
I could hear a whole community of Redditors just attacking. They're like the Star You clones. They're coming.
Yeah.
They're just coming. They're all coming for.
Zach, what were your thoughts on the suicide film?
I think whoever it was that tried to do what James Gunn did in the first movie is out of a job
That
for the
doesn't
rest
ca-
of their lives.
That doesn't count. His situation was because of studio involvement.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think that's
Right.
exactly what the problem is. They asked him to do what James Gunn could do, and he can't. And that's exactly why this film was great, is because James Gunn knows how to do what James Gunn does.
Depending who you talk to, though, yeah, he could have. A lot of people want to see his cut of the film. They don't.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing about the
Snyder
Snyder cut.
the Snyder
is it
cut
starts
brought
this whole
every
thing
hell.
about well, let me put out my film, not the
Right.
film that was put out. And
Right.
and you were completely correct about that. It's going to become a thing.
Who out of who was your favorite death?
My favorite
Because
death.
for the first time, I did not expect them to kill almost everyone.
Oh man, I'll be,
Whoa. I didn't know this. The director for Suicide Squad directed Fury.
Cool.
That should have been a better movie.
The first Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah. It was. He wrote Fury, which was a great movie, but he also directed Bright, which was not great.
Right.
I'm actually gonna have to go with like the main commando guy. I can't think of his name.
Flynn.
Rick Flag?
Flynn.
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag. I'm gonna have to go with him only because the scene was really good.
All of him.
So yeah, the Patriot stabs him, and not only does he stab him, it
The
does
Peacemaker.
it,
Peacemaker.
what I call him the Patriot.
Patriot.
Yeah.
I mean,
You get him mixed up with Mel Gibson. I understand.
Oh yeah, but he. I mean, serious. Okay, never mind. But so
In
when
case you can't pick up on this, don't listen to this episode until after you've seen the movie.
oh yeah,
a little late.
Yeah.
a little late on
Anyway.
the spoilers. But when he stabs him, there's this really cool scene where it kind of like zooms in and shows like internal organs being stabbed.
Yeah.
and I thought that was a really neat little touch where like
I'm so mad about it.
It
That
was-
was the one character I was like, don't take this character.
No,
well,
it was
actually it was
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher 2. Was,
Ratcatcher too.
Ratcatcher 2.
But specifically because I didn't want Sebastian to die.
Right, you didn't want
and
the
he
rat.
didn't.
hands down favorite character, Sebastian.
Sebastian was a legend.
Sebastian
Yeah.
takes it.
Even though they got it wrong about how a rat expresses that it likes being pet,
Right.
because it showed it like nuzzling like a cat into his hand.
But this is
But
a
that's
di-
not what they do.
But this
Not
is a different
usually.
rat.
Who was your favorite, Matt? Like who?
Character?
No, Death. Who
Oh,
was your-
death. I like Michael Rooker's death.
Did
Where
swimming away.
The opening of the movie sets him up as kind of the main character that we're following,
Right.
and then he's all grizzled and he's calling them amateurs and stuff like that, and then he's the one who starts freaking out and runs away when people start dying.
Mine's pretty
He has his
tied.
head blown up.
Mine's tied with a lot of them, but I think if you like held a gun to my head and said like, you have to tell me what your favorite.
You have to
gun
tell
is,
me what your favorite death is.
was the detachable kid's death.
But he didn't.
That's the thing. We don't know if he died, but if he is dead,
I mean, cinematically, he died.
yeah.
He's
But
done.
if he is dead, just the thought that he's just laying on his back, getting his arms, while his arms are far away from him, his arms are getting shot. And he's just screaming on the floor.
Like that probably was one of the funnier scenes. Like they're just shooting up the arms. And there's this guy in the background just flailing.
The gimmick with Polka Dot Man is hilarious.
Oh my god!
The thing with his mom
that
is,
pays off so well.
That's look who it is. It's your mom.
That's my secret, Cap. Everyone's my mom.
Oh boy,
That was great. It's like I can kill them if I think they're my mom.
I kid you not. I thought this film was going to be good, but after watching it, I was like, this film was better than I expected it to be. And I think,
I expected to be whelmed.
but the thing is, like,
And I was overwhelmed.
It makes sense though, because like James Gunn, he made characters who you would not care about.
Yeah.
If I told you there was a superhero film where the villain was a guy whose arms can be detached and fly around and smack people, you would be like, that sounds dumb. But you cared about these characters. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the only thing, like, unfortunately, if they were going to kill certain characters off, they should have, like, I don't think the detachable kid should have been killed off the way he did, because you should have probably made his story a little bit better. They shouldn't, I don't know who could have survived that they would have made interesting. I do like the whole thing with, like, the javelin being passed over.
Yeah.
And the gimmick is, like, Harley doesn't know why she has the javelin.
Yeah.
Like,
That probably was the best string through the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's just like her finding this javelin repeatedly and just going, oh, I got to figure out what this is for.
Yeah.
Like,
that line that she says, just like, what's with this? What's with the spear? She's like, what did she say?
she's like, I'm waiting for God to tell me.
She's like, why do you have a spear? She's like, I'm waiting for God to tell me.
He just takes it in stride.
Well, it's one of those things where like they've done a really good Margot Robbie's done a really good job with pulling the like sincerity and crazy at the same time.
Right.
Where it's like it's like I'm being serious. I'm waiting for God to tell me what I'm supposed to do with this spear, but at the same time you're just like, are you nuts or are you being sincere?
Yeah.
Like
and the thing is, like, some of the jokes that this film comes up with is so clever that even like some of them you don't expect. Like, it's so the one thing when, like, after they're there to rescue Harley and they see her, she's like, "You're here to rescue me?" He's like, "I can go back in." And just Bloodsport just yells like, "That's condescending," because he's crawling down.
That's patronizing.
Yeah, that's patronizing. Like, it's just she's being like sincere. Like, I'll go back in and you can come in and save me. But she's already killed everybody.
I do love how it set up all these things where it set them up as almost like superhero movie tropes, and then just kind of undermines them. Like she's gonna be the femme fatale who falls in love with the leader of the bad guys and has to be rescued from it and shown that he's actually a bad guy. No. He mentions killing kids, so she shoots him.
Yeah.
And it's not because, like, he's a villain or all that. She's like, I just promised I would do the right thing if my boyfriend started showing red flags, and killing kids is a red flag.
She's like, I
so
always
I do the right thing by murdering them.
Yeah, she's like, I always attract bad people. So
Which is
anytime
cool,
I see
'cause-
red flags, I take what I have to do and
Because
murder
it
them.
continues her character development from Birds of Prey.
Yep, I do the right thing and I murder them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take back my death. His was my favorite death.
His?
Yeah, like you expect him to be some kind of like
Oh,
serious character.
Richard Hammond
Yeah.
mixed with David Tennant.
Yeah, it was
man,
it was
that was-
great. That death was
that's-
priceless.
That, I tell you what, that's a truer, never been a truer statement.
I don't even know who actually plays him.
Oh my God.
You're-
I love that.
It was
Yeah, it was great. They build him up
If
to
you
be the
haven't
smooth
watched
talking
it,
guy.
you have to watch it.
What's
his-
its current score?
I'd love to tell you
You'd love to tell me.
if I spell this right. On IMDb, 7.5 out of 10.
that's
Well, and
Not
James,
bad.
James Gunn did
Who else
a
has it?
phenomenal
91%
job.
Rotten Tomatoes, 74% Metacritic, 87% like this movie from Google users.
cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm happy.
I was gonna say James Gunn did a really good job at making fun of superhero tropes and really showing. One of the things that I hate is like when you go through something in a movie for there not to be a payoff,
Right.
and like, but he did it in a way where like it still advanced the movie. Like there was someone that was still doing something, but this group of guys were kind of the B plot for the moment.
Right.
Where they're planning like you said, like with the saving of Harley, where it's like what they're doing is useless, but what Harley's isn't. So you're not spending time watching a bunch of useless stuff happen.
Right.
And like he does a really good job at balancing that, so it ends up not like it's not that there isn't a payoff. There's a payoff in them finding Harley at the end. It's like we had a plan, and now that plan is useless. So like from their perspective, they did nothing and it was pointless. But from our perspective, we got to see something happen while that useless plan was being
That
enacted.
plan's funny because
Okay, wait.
You got
so I just found this on the IMDb page. So I noticed it in the end credits. D. Bradley Baker is the voice for Sebastian the Rat,
oh, really?
but the rat is played by two different rats. One of which was named Jaws. The other one is named Crisp Rat.
Crisp rat.
Like crisp, like the British term for potato chips.
Right.
Rat with two T's. Crisp rat.
Brad.
There's so many.
It took
Oh
me a
my
second to
God.
get
There's
that
so
one.
many
out.
jokes and stuff that.
That's like the
what-
crispy
But that's an
bacon.
actual rat. Like someone's pet rat or a trained rat named Crisp Rat.
Yeah. I liked the other thing that I really like when you were talking about that whole plan, like all the little details about that plan where each person was involved. Because like Peacemaker being the man that he's like, I'll kill every man, woman, and child for peace if that's
If
what
that's
I
what
need
it
to do.
takes.
Like at one point they're like he's got his crosshairs on one. It's like I've got someone in my sights, and it's just a lady doing dishes. Like
Yeah.
it's not like
Just a completely innocent person.
Yeah.
Dude, well, and that's the thing where like I think he does a good job at like because there's the movies have kind of gotten into these like certain tropes or like where you see them you're like okay it's this old tired twist, it's not really a twist, and like Peacemaker's kind of a refreshing end of that because he is a joke in himself.
Right.
He's an individual taken to an extreme, and that's what's funny about
he's
him.
that like well the way that he was described by James Gunn is he's what people believe Americans are really like. He's the extreme realization of what people think Americans
Yeah.
are really like is they will do anything for peace, even kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's what his
Yeah.
like point, and that's why his like colors like the whole red, white, and blue and yellow thing is like it's to represent like he is America, the freedom and stuff like that.
Juan
It's-
Diego Botto is our friend who looks like David Tennant and Richard Hammond had a kid.
The one thing I say about the film that I didn't like until I gave it some more thought was I really like that instead of James Gunn just being like everyone else, like he didn't have to do this, but he chose to still acknowledge that Harley and Flag have a past and Boomerang have a past.
Yeah.
So like he didn't delete the Suicide Squad movie that we saw. He
Added
continued.
to it.
He's like so basically this is a sequel. It's a soft sequel. But he still kept that past so that people who did like the original Suicide Squad movie see this and be like, "Oh yeah, like I still validated." Like that's the thing is I really like that because any other person that takes a movie that they hate, for example, Star Wars, every time like when Rian Johnson did what he did, the whole talk was like, we're going to delete everything that Rian did. Like
Yeah.
Rian Johnson can't do any of it. Or in this, James Gunn said, well, no, like that's still someone's art. I'm still going to acknowledge it in this place. Like it still
Yeah.
deserves to be acknowledged.
It's still here. We're just
whether
gonna-
you don't like it or not. And I don't know. I may looking too much into it. I'm really mad that Flag, like what happened to Flag with that end
Yeah.
credit scene. I was about to cry. I was like, yes, there is going to be a Suicide Squad 3.
I want a Taika Waititi Ratcatcher movie.
But it
Where
could be possible.
where we see Taika Waititi's Ratcatcher.
Could be possible.
I mean that is a possibility. I think it would be good. Well, and it also depends. They didn't build him up to be like it didn't. They built the story within the story, so I don't really think there's much more to say. It's supposed to be this guy that like feels like he's nothing, but he's like, okay, well, if rats are something, then if they have a purpose, then I should have a purpose.
Oh, okay. So I searched Taika Waititi Rat Catcher to see if there was maybe a news story about. But the two of the headlines are James Gunn is surprised more people didn't notice a Guardian of the Galaxy in the club they're in, but we picked up on it.
Oh yeah,
Is Mantis is in there, but not only that, I noticed it's blink and you miss it shot when they're entering the club. Peacemaker bumps into Lloyd Kaufman, who runs Troma Studios, which they just make terrible B movies, but it's where James Gunn got his start with movies he made like Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
That's so cool though. And Scooby Doo. Well,
yeah, that was one of his earlier not Troma films.
Yeah, that's so good. Here's the thing that's really important to know though. Yeah, they've killed off a bunch of characters, but there are still characters they could potentially bring back. Like,
also,
Waller is a monster. She does terrible things. Like, we could see Flag again as a cyborg. Like, it's possible.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest with you, I think that's why they showed the heart thing, is because they want you to think, okay, that guy is definitely dead.
Right.
Now, part of it might be because you don't want to believe he's dead, so there's two ways to take it.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
It's like, we're proving to you he is dead.
Yes.
Also, they did the same thing with Superman. We're proving to you he's dead. Well, now he's back.
Well, that's
and I think what you're saying is totally.
And that's the thing is you never know. But I mean, James Gunn also like those shots, like seeing that go into his heart, and like the shot that you said was really cool was from Peacemaker's helmet when it was laying on the ground watching a fight.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was a cool shot.
That's all James Gunn stuff. Like when the first round of deaths happen, like the camera when it introduces the characters, it like shows the camera flies to past their corpses and then goes to another corpse. That's all James Gunn stuff. So really, I wouldn't be surprised if he just did the hard thing because he thought it was cool, but he also probably did do it to like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Remember, I did this. Like everyone could die. But and that's the thing is like with how this film ends with Amanda Waller, like they're free, like, but they also still have the explosives in their neck. Yeah, I don't get that part.
Well, and I think that's part of it where I think in the end credit scene where Peacemaker is alive, the people that were in the office with her, like he makes a point to say, you do realize that
this is revenge.
This is going to end up coming back for us too, right?
I think is where his TV series is going to be.
Yeah.
This film.
So good. Also, if you've probably heard of Troma in the form of the Toxic Avenger.
I've definitely seen the Toxic Avenger,
which was a Troma film. And then my personal favorite Troma film is Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, which is just
I forgot about that film.
Isn't it great?
It's such a good
about a failing police officer who gets the power of Kabuki. It's a superpower. It's
Dear Lord.
Ridiculous.
Is that made by James Gunn?
No.
I was gonna say, I was like that. It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
it all makes sense.
But yeah, so 6 thumbs up for.
I highly recommend
Jimmy Gunn.
If you have not watched this film, watch it. You told your dad to watch it tonight, right?
Yeah, but he couldn't get logged. He apparently needed to get logged into the. It wasn't logged in on the TV down there, so.
Oh, so tell me what your dad thinks. I'm very curious.
To be honest
James
with
Gunn's writing the Peacemaker series.
The only death that I actually didn't like was Boomerang. Because I liked Boomerang.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that Boomerang was actually going to I was hoping that he and Harley were going to do something on the side. I didn't like how they killed off Boomerang because Boomerang was actually kind of a fun character.
That feels like that was on purpose. Like Boomerang was cast in this on purpose to make you think he was going to survive. Like to make you think that there were going to be main Suicide Squad members that constantly survive and then the rest die.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm really excited. You weren't here when I said to him, like, I'm thinking like we're now starting to see it, the uprise for DC films, and Marvel films are going to go the animation route. Now the animation for Marvel is going to be good, but the live action is going to be okay. And like that's the same way we saw with DC films.
Now that there's nothing around, I think DC can start paying out some money to like people like James Gunn who made DC or who made Marvel like it got people into Marvel, they're going to do the same thing now with DC. So I think it's one of those things where it's like DC has a super slow start, but they may be able to finish strong if they get the right guys in the right places.
I'm really hoping that after what's going on with like Disney now cutting Scarlett Johansson off of like their actress lists, like DC
really?
will wipe her out. Yeah, they're
just cutting her.
She was let go of another film she was supposed to star in. So now
That's what you get
they
for
call her
suing.
blacklisted.
I'm not saying that. I think that she did the right thing by suing. I'm not saying that, but that's what's going to happen when you sue Disney.
You were here when we talked about the suit, right?
I mean, I think we just talked about it like shortly.
briefly.
Yeah, so it was confirmed by
James Gunn's
by
career is
one of
so
the Disney
interesting.
lawyers that it was an
It was a
actual
planned thing.
But that was also from Disney lawyers, so it's hard to tell. But
Yeah. James Gunn's career is just so interesting to me. It's just a handful of like shorts and stuff for Trauma, and then a series of TV shorts called PG Porn, with the title "For People Who Love Everything About Porn Except the Sex." So who
I
knows?
want to watch that.
Followed by the
What?
movie Super, which is the one where Rainn Wilson plays.
That film is so good.
He's on the spectrum somewhere, right? Or
Right.
he's got an issue.
Right.
But so he becomes a hero, a superhero, followed by a segment in movie 43,
Ugh,
which was rough.
no one wants to talk about that.
Guardians
film.
of the Galaxy.
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Suicide Squad. He's just, what a trajectory. I don't know who he knows, but it's working out for him.
I mean, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest with you, that's kind of what ends up happening with a lot of these guys, where it's like, I've done something, someone saw my work and said, I think you might be able to do something good with this big project. Here's your
Yeah.
opportunity. If you screw up and it's a bad film, you're out.
Yeah.
All right.
But he
Well,
did
we
well.
got to end this, guys. We're
Yeah,
an hour.
we're over an hour.
We took a break, and that was an hour long or 30 minutes long. So
Yeah.
My condolences.
So,
No, you're good.
yeah, thank you all
for this
for
extra long episode,
listening. It was fun hanging out with yins and talking and stuff like that.
as
you know,
we do every.
as we do. If you wanna tell your friends about us, that'd be dope. Thanks.
Oh, wait. Before we do our finals, do we have news?
Is it happening? Is it confirmed?
Do we have news?
I'm for flipping the switch.
Okay.
Confirmed news.
We're moving to Monday releases.
Yeah, we're moving our schedule. We're going to start. We're going to release episodes on Monday. That way, everything that happened over the week and the weekend, as stories grow, we can update you with everything that happened in that week.
Yeah.
So you'll get a Monday an update of what happened last week. So basically, you'll be pop culture unboxing. Basically, what happens is now, instead of us breaking into the warehouse to pick up the boxes of pop culture news and unbox them, we actually order them from Amazon. We get our 2-day delivery over the weekend, and we unbox it Monday when it gets in.
Yeah.
We're looking to bring in some extra content as well with video and maybe some other social media,
Yeah.
so you guys can see what's going on behind the scenes.
We are
Exactly.
officially going to put
Yay.
work behind this.
Yay. Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I don't know how you wanted me to do that.
I don't know how I want
All
to
those
do it.
pop culture unboxing. If you want to follow me at Matt Russ VO on Twitter and Jan Jiggle on Twitch.
I know how to fix that, actually. So you give me that hand.
Okay.
You give him
for
that
it.
hand.
Okay.
And you're still 2 off.
What in the how?
Someone will be normal. 2 people will be half normal.
Okay.
Very well.
For those of you that can't see, you will see soon.
Anyway, where can they find Mr. Ryan?
Currently, you can find me at RikiTiki252 at Instagram. You can find me at Twitter, and you can find me that on Twitch.
Did you know that Ryan's last name is Ryan?
What?
His middle name, believe it or not, is Nairi. Nair. Is Nair. Nair. It's Nair. It's Ryan Nair Ryan. It's his name.
Where did this come
Don't
from?
worry about it. Zach, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at little_leaf, LIEF. That underscore is important. I'm not a middle-aged Brazilian woman. And on Sundays, I am streaming on Twitch, streaming poker at Little Leaf.
Poker.
Poke.
And I've been Ryan Nair Ryan.
Ryan Nair Ryan.
When you say Nair, do you mean the Nair like the
Why is
shaving
this a
cream
thing?
for women's
No,
legs? Okay.
N-A-Y-R.
Oh, okay.
Ryan backwards.
I get it. I see
Ryan
it.
Nair Ryan.
Yeah, I see it. It's
Hi, I love you.
Bye bye.
Have fun.